Well, I started farming. This will be my 33rd crop that we're cutting as we speak right now. And first year I planted just soybeans, and now I think the second year I started planting rice that I farm. So 32 years of rice and an extra year of soybean farming, and we have a crawfish operation. We annually harvest about 70 acres a year that we crawfish, and about 1,000 acres of rice every year, plus or minus some, and depending on the market, some years we plant soybeans, some we don't. I started farming like most other farmers with the help of their parents, and my parents were real supportive, and as you go through life, you realize the sacrifices they made, yeah, so that I could start farming, and I appreciate that. And my great grandfather bought this farm that we farm on in the 1890s, I believe it was 1894, and it's been in our family ever since then. My great grandfather was a farmer in Indiana, and he got some information, I suppose through a newspaper or whatever, that there was land for sale, and they were, at the time in the 1890s, they were urging people to come down here. Land was cheap, and he took a paddle boat down the Mississippi River, paddle wheel boat, and came down to New Orleans and rented a horse. And I don't know how long the journey from New Orleans to Gaydon was on horseback, but I would imagine it was probably a week or so. And he came down and he found Mr. Henry Gaydon, who Gaydon was named after. And Mr. Gaydon took him out and showed him, the tracts of land that was still for sale, and he decided to buy the one here that we farm on in, I believe, like I say, 1894. And he went back home to Indiana, and my grandfather, I think 2 or 3 years later, graduated from college, and he sent my grandfather down here to take care of the farm. We got started, in the middle 80s, when farming was getting really tough, as another source of revenue to help us survive, and it filled in a niche for us, because a lot of the work falls at a time of the year when we have a little time to do it. So farming is all seasonal, and it was nice for us because it's some revenue, it's a lot of work, but it's at a time of the year that we can manage a crop, and that's how we got started, and it's worked for us, and it's a good rotation. We seed the crawfish into our rice fields while the rice is growing. We usually do it like in May, and then we drain the fields to harvest in July, and usually by the end of September, early part of October, we flood the fields back up, and depending on the weather, sometimes December, usually January, we're back harvesting crawfish in there. In my 30 years or so of farming, I've seen, when I started farming, my dad told me about things they did when he farmed, and how much, things had changed up to that point. And there were big changes. Now we laser level our land to get it to the grade we want, to improve the drainage, help us flood. GPS has really changed the way we do everything in farming. It saves us a lot of labor. We used to have to go out there and manually wave a flag to guide the airplanes across the field on whatever we were putting out, and now the airplanes use GPS to guide themselves. We don't even go to the field anymore. My sprayers that we spray with in the field are controlled by GPS. They steer themselves across the field and control where we put out chemical, keep track of where we've put it out, won't let us spray the same area twice, which saves us a lot of chemical, and records everything that we've done that we can download on the computers for maps of the farm, keep track of where we've sprayed and what we've sprayed. And technology's ever-changing world. It's done a world of good for us. It's all about information and managing your costs and your inputs in a crop, and it's been a tremendous help for us. Family farms are important, and I think in all this farm bill and all that's been said and done and talked about, every time we develop a new farm bill, I'm a family farmer, but sometimes with the amount of land we farm, we're not always considered family farmers. And believe me, there's no corporations here, but the government keeps squeezing down on the amount of acres you can farm and still collect government payments. And I hope that people realize that we would rather not have the government payments, but if we could get the government to leave our markets alone, maybe we wouldn't need those payments. And all they ever see is when the news reports some big payment to some Scottie Pippen or some athlete, a movie star that's collecting farm payments. Well, they bought farmland and somebody's obviously farming it, and it's an investment. And I think that's been shown in the wrong light. And I enjoyed the farm and the country life. It's really all I ever wanted to do, and to this day it's still, I guess you could say, it's my passion. I enjoy it. It's work, but it's really enjoyable. My wife says it must be nice to get up every day and never think you're going to work, and I guess she's correct about that. I enjoy what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else. You've got to be dedicated to it, and you got to realize that there's times of the year that Saturday or Sunday or somebody's birthday or a party or a wedding, sometimes all of it come you have to put your farm in operation ahead because it's a seasonal event, and you've got to be able to get things done in a timely fashion, whether you're planting or spraying, fertilizing, harvesting, whatever it is. You just plan. There's a few months out of the year that we just kind of plan things around. I enjoy finishing that harvest. This is a big thing for us as farmers.